Genesis chapter 2, verse 9, and 16 and 17, which is going to be the core of the message that I want to share with you today. And out of the ground, this is Genesis 2, verse 9, and out of the ground made the Lord to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. Yeah. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Verse 16 and 17. And the Lord commanded the man, saying, of the tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. Yeah. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Yeah. Please take your seats. So we're talking Genesis, and we're talking just after creation. And we want to make sure that we understand the basic terms here. And that is, when I make a cake, I can't claim to be the creator of the cake. And the reason I can't claim to be the creator of the cake is because I have to go to the cupboard and get all the ingredients for the cake and mix them together, and then voila. Don't send me because you might not be able to eat what I produce, even with all the ingredients. But the fact of the matter is that I didn't create the cake because I made the cake from something. I had to have some things to make the cake. But creation is different. Because when you create, you start from nothing. And show me somebody who can create something and I'm going to bow. Because I'm going to know who he is. Because he makes something from nothing. Thus we're talking creation here in the beginning of Genesis. I want to use for my thought today sin in the Garden of Eden. Now this thought could also be sin in the United States. This thought could also be sin at 2307. That's where I live. Sin is sin. We talk sin, but do we actually know what sin is? You see, sin has its ingredients. Just like a cake has its ingredients. See, you have to do a little putting together to get sin. Just like I'd have to go to the cupboard and get all the ingredients, then bring them over and put them in the bowl and mix them together. I want you to follow the fact that I'm working. I'm doing something. I'm in the act of. Thus it is with sin. You see, if you sit down doing nothing, you can't sin. You got to be doing something. You have to be acting. So the fact of the matter is that the door cannot sin. When we talk about sin, we're talking about people. Because they're capable of doing things. Now, that's one of the ingredients, is that you have to have a people you have to have in that person the ability to execute free will.
Yeah.
No.
Free will is about, I can do the right thing, or I can do the wrong thing. That's free will. I can choose which I will do. So, the other ingredient that we just alluded to is there have to be, in order to sin, there have to be right, and there have to be wrong. If everything is right, there can be no sin. If everything is wrong, there can be no sin. There have to be both right and wrong. Now that's just two of the ingredients. The third ingredient is there have to be a word from God.
Say it.
Huh? There have to be a don't and a do. Huh?
Yeah.
Do this and don't do that. So that when we do what God says do, there is no sin. But when we do what he say don't do, there is sin.
That's right.
So when we talk about sin, make sure you understand clearly that we're talking about doing something that God said don't do. And men have the right and the privilege by virtue of the free will that he gave them to choose. God's not going to make you.
Yeah.
You choose.
That's right. That's right.
So that's why Joshua said, I believe it was Joshua, says choose you this day.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who you will serve. And so I feel it's worth repeating that I don't know about you. But as for me, we are going to serve the Lord. We are going to be obedient to his commandments. We're going to follow his word.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And so that's what we're going to do today when we talk about sin in the Garden of Eden. So the fact of the matter is that in order to really appreciate this subject, we have to know that God created Adam.
Yeah.
And so I throw the question out to the congregation is, when did God create Eve? Huh? When did he create Eve? Because they both showed up somewhere along the way. So he created both Adam and Eve. And the scripture tells us very clearly when he created Adam, because it's written down very clearly, but it's a little vague about when he created Eve. So when did he create? Now we're talking creation here. So we're talking about something from nothing. There wasn't any man before Adam. There wasn't any woman before Eve. So we want to know, when did he create Eve? And scripture tells us when he created Eve. You all know that scripture? I think it's 1:26 and 27. Look at Genesis chapter 1, 26 and 27. 26 says that God said, let us create man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The question then, when did God create Eve? Is documented in 1:27. He created Eve when he created Adam.
Good.
Yes.
At the same time, something from nothing. You see, so the thing about it is, the female wasn't an oversight in creation. Huh?
That's right. Yes.
And then 28 says, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, this is a word from God. He said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. See, you see, this is the thing.
Yes, sir. Wow.
The purpose
Yes, sir.
that God had for Adam and Eve was to procreate.
Yes, sir. Yes.
He just didn't want Adam and Eve. He wanted a whole world
Right.
full of people after the image that he had created.
Yes, sir.
You see, everything that he created in creation brings forth after its own kind. Huh?
Yes.
So when he got to Adam and Eve, he didn't overlook the fact that his intention was that they were to bring forth after their own kind. Now it's interesting
All right, come on now.
that when a seed drops, it brings forth after its own kind.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yes.
And in the higher elevations of creation, it takes two seeds, not just one. It
yeah.
takes two seeds. Takes two seeds to procreate.
So,
So, Adam had seeds, but Eve was not without seeds.
so,
Because it takes two seeds. It takes the joining of the two seeds in order to procreate. So male and female
so,
created he them, and then blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply. Now look, multiplication is a quick order on addition. Huh?
yeah.
See, you can't multiply if you don't have, well, let me just put it this way, brother's a mathematician. So you can't multiply if you have zero.
That's right.
So, the joining of the two becomes one.
Yes.
And then it's possible to multiply.
Yes.
And that's what God said, be fruitful and multiply.
That's what he said.
So, this is the point that I want to make with you this morning. That as we review the situation, we understand that God created Adam and Eve at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
The next question, and I always ask questions, because when you answer these questions, you have to answer them appropriately, following Scripture. So when did God present Eve. And from where did he get her to present her? I want you to be mindful of that question, those two questions as a matter of fact. When God created, not created, when God presented Eve, and where he got her to present her. Before we get to that, we have to clearly understand that God created Adam, and then what he did was he went east. I'm very poor on directions. I didn't have my compass working, so I said I was going to give an example. Well, that way is east. But I didn't have my compass, so I can't do that correctly. But that way is east. He went east. And he formed a garden. And out of the ground, verse 9 says, he made every tree that is pleasant to the sight. Now, there's nothing like going into a nice garden.
All right. That's right.
There are all kinds of beautiful foliage. Creative capability when we review how beautiful he has caused the trees and the foliage and the grass and the herbs. What a marvelous God we have.
Yes.
So that the tree was, let's see, pleasant to the sight. Ain't nothing wrong with looking at a tree. Ain't nothing wrong with enjoying the beauty that God has created in his creation. That's why he gave us eyes. So we can behold that and understand through that who he is. Ain't nothing wrong with looking at it.
That's right.
And then sometimes we have to touch it. When our vision grows a little dim, we have to touch it to get the sense of what it is. That's looking at it. So there's nothing wrong with touching it. See, there are do's and don'ts. So the tree is pleasant to the sight. The tree is also good for food. Not only is it externally pleasing, but also when it's ingested, it will provide nourishment. And that nourishment will be positive. Why am I saying positive? I'm saying positive because everything that God created, he pronounced. That was good.
Yes, it is.
He wasn't disappointed about one single thing that he created. It was all good. It was all positive. There was no negative. But once he got the garden created and it was good for food, and it was good to look upon, then the next thing that happened according to Genesis is that he brought every creature that he created. He brought.
Yes, he did.
The Creator brought every creature before Adam. And he said, what's his name? What's your name? And Adam gave him a name. It's interesting to understand from that Adam knew exactly what God created. He knew how God created it because God was there. See, think about it, he might take a little liberty when the master himself is absent. But when the master standing right beside you, better take care of what you're doing. But you want to be consistent with his master. Consistent. So when he brought the serpent before Adam, now the serpent, according to Scripture, was the most beautiful. The most beautiful. talk about something to look at.
That's right. Yeah.
He was made the most beautiful creature, that God put his hand to. And God brought him before Adam and said, what you gonna do? What you gonna make this one? And he said, serpent. And then he went his way. I want you to notice that the serpent didn't talk to Adam. Huh? Yeah. He might have hissed, because that's what they do.
Come on.
They hiss. They were made to hiss. Yeah. But he didn't talk to Adam. He didn't question Adam. He didn't reason with Adam. Because he was in the presence of the Creator. He had to be consistent with how he was created. And he wasn't created to converse.
Yes. All right.
Huh? He was created to be beautiful.
Yes. Okay.
And thus he was, and Adam named it. So, after all of what God created was named by Adam,
Come on.
here's the scripture. Verse 17. God made all the trees good for food.
Yeah.
And then he commanded Adam.
Yes, he did.
He commanded Adam. He said, look, you can eat of every tree. But of that tree right there, that one over there, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat. There's the not, there's the do, there's the don't.
Yes.
You shall not eat, for in the day that you eat, you shall surely die. What can we conclude from that? We conclude that there was no provision for death in God's creation. He didn't announce death is good, because it wasn't there. But in the day that you eat, now notice that you can't eat with your mouth closed.
That's right.
You can't eat if you refuse to bend your elbow. You can't eat if you don't go to where there is provision for food. You have to do something in order to eat.
Yes.
I mean, I have dogs every now and then, and when they don't eat, I get concerned because they go up to the plate and then they turn around and go away. And I hear the dog sick.
Yeah.
Because they're not eating. Something wrong.
Yes.
I need to do something because something's wrong.
Yes.
You have to do something in order to eat. So he's telling him, don't eat of this tree. Now it's important for us now to understand where Eve is. Where is Eve? Where is Eve when God gives that commandment? We already know that she was created. My question is, where is she? Where is she? Where did God create Eve? After all this, there wasn't a mate found for Adam, it says the scripture. But God said to Adam, go over there and lay down. And I'll put you in a deep sleep.
Yes.
And what did God do? He opened the flesh of Adam. And he took from Adam a rib. I would contend with you that is precisely where he created Eve. Male and female created them.
Yes.
The female he created as a rib in Adam.
Yes.
And when he commanded Adam, he commanded Adam, not his rib.
All right.
See, whenever a rib show up in front of me, and talking is over. I don't have no conversation that time. My father always said at the food, shut your mouth. did not command a rib. He commanded a man. He said, and he commanded the man.
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Okay. All right.
Don't you eat from that tree. So, the fact of the matter is that if sin would be introduced into the Garden of Eden, it would be in violation of God's command. See, that's the third and final ingredient that's necessary in order to sin. You got to violate God's command. So the thing about that is, if we want to be proficient non-sinners, then what we have to do is we have to know what God commands. So you got to be careful that you move through Genesis all the way to Revelation and get them all. Then you can show up sinless. And who can do that? Lord, man. That's why it's important for us to do Bible studies. So that we will know what God says. Because some folks don't say, yeah, the Bible say this.
That's right.
Yeah, they'll tell you, and they'll stand firm and convicted that the Bible says this. And when you go look for yourself. See, I always check. Don't y'all believe me? Don't y'all believe a word? I'll say go to your scripture yourself and look it up.
Yes, sir.
Because then, you see, it's no longer hearsay.
That's good.
See, the thing about that is hearsay will get you in trouble. Talk about what somebody told you. And when you talk about what somebody told you, you're lazy because you haven't done it for yourself. Somebody was telling me this man at work, he's such a mean man. He said, I went up to it. I said, I hear. I've been hearing some things. So folk are very disturbed about how you manage. And I'm here to see for myself. I want to have this conversation with you so that I can determine whether or not what they're saying has credibility. And he told me about those folks. See how those folks don't want to come to work. Don't like it. Because I give them a hard time when they don't show up. When they call in sick and cause me a problem getting my work done, I give them a hard time when they come to work. And of course those people don't like me. So the thing about that is, don't govern yourself by hearsay. And here's important. This is the important reason why I say that. Because the serpent showed up at the tree one day when Eve was over there looking at that beautiful tree. And that tree was nice looking too. God, all the trees were good looking. They were beautiful. And Eve was over there looking at that tree. And the serpent showed up. The same serpent that Adam named that only hissed. If you could stop long enough from being beautiful to hiss. Showed up to Eve, and when he showed up to Eve, it says, and he said. And he said. Now my question is, who is he? When did the serpent get the ability to communicate? And he said. Hence, we now are able to get the actors in the sin that followed. See, there were 4, I believe. There was Adam. We know about Adam. We talked about Eve. We talked about the serpent. And who's Eve? You sure right. Who is the 4th one? And I would submit to you that the 4th one is Satan. And he said. See, the thing about that is, the reason he showed up in the serpent, and I'll take a little bit with scripture. So if you don't want to go over here with me, that's fine. But see, when he was in the tree was not adequate. The tree was not adequate for him because he needed a conversation. Huh? God had placed evil. Is that right? The tree of the knowledge of good and what? Evil. He placed evil in creation in what? A tree.
Yeah. All right.
I ain't never walked up to one that said good morning.
Oh, yeah.
I've been beguiled by the fact that they say if a tree falls in the forest, did it make sound? And you can go either way with that. Because if you're not there to hear it,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
if you're not busy running to keep it from falling on you. But trees do not speak. They are not provisioned by creation to speak. And the reason why, because they don't have a mouth.
All right.
Huh? Satan needed a mouth. That's what we call the speaker a mouthpiece.
All right.
Satan needed a mouth, and hence the serpent allowed Satan the opportunity to use his mouth. And he said, everything that was spoken from the serpent was spoken by Satan. And now we understand, I got in trouble the other day because I was talking about this to somebody, they told me that I was rewriting the Bible. Because it say right there, she said we. And what she said. But the fact of the matter is, everything that's spoken by Satan, everything, with no exception, everything that's spoken by Satan is a lie. From A to Z. There is no truth in it. Because the thing about that is, when you mix wrong up with right, it's wrong.
That's right. That's right.
So no matter if there's a little peak of right, that right has been defiled, and now it's no longer acceptable.
That's right.
So when you review the conversation that Satan had with Eve through the serpent, then everything you read about what they talk about is a lie. None of it's true. Because if you go back and you look at what God said, you have to go back to verse 16 and 17. That's what God said. It's just, that's what he said. He said, don't eat. He didn't say don't look. He didn't say don't touch. He said don't eat. And he told the man, don't eat. Now the question is, did he command Eve not to eat? That's the question. I have my opinion.
Come on. Come on.
Because when I see a reel,
All right.
it's not talking time. It ain't instructing time.
It's eating time.
And I think that if God understands the need for food, then he understands when we get in the mode for food, we ready to eat, not talk.
Yes.
So I understand that if we're in his image, then he's not going to be talking to a reel.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have to conclude based on my study of this passage that Eve was not commanded not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Because why? She wasn't there when he gave to the man. Because right after he made that command, then he set Adam over and he got the rib from Adam and he formed Eve. And then after having done that, after having formed the woman, Adam named her He said, flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes.
And I want you to understand based on that careful following of the events in Genesis, that the woman is extremely special to God.
Yes.
Huh? Has to be special to God. So special that he exempted her from the dawn. Huh?
Yes.
Hence I submit that he created Eve. He created Eve, but he didn't create Eve for Adam. He created Eve for himself. And when he took the rib and he formed it into the woman, then he presented the woman to Adam. Why would I say that? Because in the subsequent events, when the serpent deceived Eve, and part of that deception had to be that she had heard that she tested it out.
Yes.
What happened when she did the test? Nothing. Because there was no don't. Everything else was there, but the don't wasn't there for her.
All right.
So nothing happened. Because what was supposed to happen, what was supposed to happen? It was, the don't was there. She was sure to die. Nothing happened. Because she was not under the command. And having that so, then she was convinced that there was a misunderstanding somewhere. Huh? Let me go talk to my husband about this. Huh? Let him know what I have found out. Huh? But the serpent, Satan, is very sneaky. Huh? You see, the thing about that is he wouldn't get in the serpent and run up to Adam and start talking. Because maybe something come into my house, I don't know, where did this come from? I didn't have that like that. God didn't create that like that. He told me to dress and keep. That's why he put me in the garden. I'm to dress it and keep it just like he created it. Now, that, I don't know where that came from. And then Adam had the power to command it to be as God created. All he had to do is speak. And it would have went back like it was created because God gave him that power. Huh? Eve didn't have that power. So Satan wouldn't run up to Adam talking about what God said, because Adam knew exactly what God said. He needed somebody that had heard. Huh? That didn't know. That wasn't present. Huh? And then Adam decided. To listen. Huh? See, the thing about that is our Supreme Court
Come on now.
forms their opinions from listening. They listen to the positive and they listen to the negative, and then they come down with their decision. Adam had the same choice. He listened to God. Don't eat. Then he listened to his wife. It's all right to eat. And he did nothing to me. It's okay. I didn't die. But when Adam ate, when Adam disobeyed, then that action that he took was sin.
Uh-huh.
Hmm?
Yeah.
And through that sin,
All right.
death entered into creation.
Uh-huh.
Huh? Because men were not created to die.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Yeah.
But because of Adam's action, death entered in, and it has to enter through Adam.
Uh-huh.
Can't get in no other way.
Uh-huh.
So subsequently, and is my time running out now?
Yeah.
Oh, I better stop. But let me talk to you about this for just a second more.
Come on.
So Adam's seeds fell to Satan.
Uh-huh.
Hmm? Every single one of them, Satan is captured.
Yes.
And see, there's a spiritual warfare going on between God and Satan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
God said, Satan said, I can capture all of creation. I can get the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole ball of wax.
Uh-huh.
And when Adam became his, he came up to God and said, yeah, I have it. I got your creation. And God said to him, and this is a matter of scripture, and her seed,
Yes.
Yes.
untouched by sin,
Uh-huh.
huh?
Yeah.
Is the salvation that I provided when I created male and female, I created them.
Uh-huh.
Her seed
Uh-huh.
will bruise.
Yeah.
See, God's salvation was not an afterthought.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
He provided for our salvation through the woman.
Yeah.
Men walk around talking about the weaker. Huh?
Yeah.
The weaker. But I submit to you
Yes, sir.
that those who God has shielded is the stronger.
Oh, yes.
Those who show a preference by God are the stronger.
Uh-huh.
And that is the case here. So sin in the Garden of Eden was about Adam's disobedience. Wasn't about Eve. Folks say, no, wait a minute, preacher. Now, Eve got penalized. But I want to tell you something about sin. God curses sin.
Come on, come on.
Huh? He don't go light on sin.
Uh-huh.
He cursed sin.
Uh-huh.
It's against his every fiber. I heard somebody talk about the fact that he is light and there's no darkness.
Uh-huh.
Sin tried to introduce darkness in the garden. He cursed it and caused it to be on its way. It cannot become a part of him.
Yes.
So every sin is cursed.
Yeah.
When you go look at Genesis and we look at how God dealt with the sin in the Garden of Eden, he cursed the serpent. What's a curse? We know what a curse is? Huh? You see, when you curse something, and I want to let you know this, you don't go cursing something that's good, that's bad. You don't curse something that's bad because you're wasting your breath.
Okay.
You don't need cursing, it's already bad. If you curse it, you want it to be bad.
Yes.
So when you curse something good to cause it to be bad.
Uh-huh.
Curses reverses 180 degrees.
Uh-huh.
If it was good, then it becomes bad. So God cursed the serpent. How do I know he cursed the serpent? Because the serpent was beautiful and the serpent was vertical. Huh?
Okay.
And when God cursed him,
Yes.
he became horizontal and he used to eat the dust. But he was elevated above the dust.
Uh-huh.
He got cursed.
Yes.
That's right.
He cursed Satan because he said her seed,
Yes.
huh, will be your very death, will be your very eternal confinement.
Uh-huh.
Huh? He cursed the ground.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't curse the ground for the sake of the ground. He cursed the ground on Adam's account.
Uh-huh.
Adam was deserving of the curse because Adam sinned, but God's so gracious and so merciful. That he said, no, I'm not going to curse you, but I'm going to curse the ground on your account. Now look, when he cursed the ground, when he cursed, this is how profound this is. When he cursed the ground, everything in creation was cursed. Because everything came from the ground.
Come on now, speak.
That's how profound God is about disobedience.
Come on.
He cursed the ground. So the fact of the matter is, when I look at the scriptures and I understand that God determines what is against his will by issuing judgment, then I understand the judgments that were issued that day was to the serpent, was to Satan, and was to Adam. But what happened with Eve? See, here's something interesting. Here's this mathematical principle again. The principle says that he multiplied. You know what I'm talking about? The principle says he multiplied her pain at childbirth. You can't multiply when you have zero.
Come on now.
You can't multiply with, so the fact of the matter is, Eve already experienced pain at would have experienced pain at childbirth. She already had some pain, he just increased it. I would submit then that Eve was under penalty for participating. But her participation was because she was in some more way. She didn't have any idea what she was doing. If she knew what she was doing, she wouldn't have done it. And thus God justifiably multiplied her pain and caused her husband, her desire to be for her husband. But there is no curse there. There's no reversal of 180 degrees there. It shows God's purpose, God's mercy, God's grace. God is just. He is good. He's consistent with what he determines to be his righteousness. And we see all of that fall through this study of sin in the Garden of Eden. So when we talk about sin in the Garden of Eden, let's be sure that we're talking about Adam's sin. And when we talk about sin in the Garden of Eden, if we have to talk about Eve, let's talk about Eve as being the hope of salvation. Because that's what God provisioned her as. The vehicle through which he would provide salvation for men from that sin. And so it had to fall to the New Testament. And it had to fall on the shoulders of Mary. I want to tell you that seed that God talked about of Eve, that seed was declared before Adam knew Eve. God had provisioned him a seed. And he cared for that seed all the way down to the New Testament. It was that very seed that he promised. Satan, that would be his defeat. That he preserves. When you look at the line, and I will stop. When you look at the line that falls down from Adam and Eve, you find that God very carefully preserved that line. It went down through was that Seth? Went down through Seth, and then it was interrupted by the flood, and then it continued with Shem, right? God purposely managed him a line all the way down to the New Testament. And I was absolutely shocked that we talk about the men in the line, but when you go look at the women in the line, he's even more. He said, let them all come to the same house. From the same house. The seed that he preserved. So I hope that we don't have any more time, but I hope that the message has been something that will cause you to understand a little bit more clearly what is being talked about as sin in the Garden of Eden. As sin. And the thing about that is the reason God put Adam and Eve out of the garden was not because he was being mean. It was because he was being merciful. What is the nature of that mercy that I'm talking about? Because he said, if you get over to that tree of life, you'll live forever. So, and I must block him from that because my purpose is to save him from his sin. I can't save him if he's from the tree. He has to go out of the garden.
Yeah.
He has to be blocked. So that in due time, the full relationship that I created in creation can be restored. There's only one way that that relationship can be restored.
Yes.
There's only one door
Yes.
through which you can pass that will be acceptable to the Father for a relationship with him.
Yes.
For Christ said,